And I was thinking to myself, do I hate this motherfucker? No, I don't. I don't even really know you that much. I've never had a fucking problem with you. So I figured I would leave by giving you some life advice. See, you're a gamer, all right? I'm also a gamer. And the thing is life, everything you fucking do in life is a game. I've beat the game. I beat the game. I used some money glitches, but I beat the game at life. You, Phil, you're still on mission 1 and you can't get anywhere and you're rage quitting and you're starting over and restarting and restarting. I mean, a decade ago, you were on stream begging for $20 and $10 donations so you could pay your rent. It's a decade later, you're begging for $10 and $20 to pay your rent. You're restarting mission 1. You're trying to use the same tactic over and over again, and you're dying, and you're having to restart the level. If you want to win at this game of life, you're gonna have to fucking do something different. Now, I know it's an ongoing thing with people telling you to go get a real job, but you probably need to get a real fucking job. But there's a deeper reason on why you hate me. Me and you have been doing YouTube for about the same amount of time, or gaming, entertainment, whatever you want to say, for the same amount of time, and I'm retiring, all right? I'm retiring with fuck you money. Never have to fucking work again. And you, having the same career, you know, doing the same thing, you know, online entertainment stuff, you're still begging for $10 donations and $20 donations to pay your electric bill, to pay your fucking rent, all right? I get it. I'd hate me too.
What's blooming? Yeah, it's your boy Shinko Fleur. Welcome back to another edition of the Glaze State. Hold on. It's a little crazy up in here. I'm so sorry for starting late. And this is going to be a short one. Unfortunately, my Mac Mini shit the bed. So right now I'm using my son's computer. So we're really working late today. I hope everybody's had a good one. Let me say what's up to everybody before we get started, because that's just what we do here. So what's up, Sam, Track the Goose, I have my 64, Zerglue, J, Sway B503, what's up, Bad Girl J, what's up, Ricky Hakuro, Viking Gaming, Luna Guardian, Felipe Baxter, what's good, baby, how we doing? Let's see here. Knock, Rybread 82. I see Radman, Eric Duval, Extra Galactic Girl, Parbs. What's up, Suburban High? I see you, baby. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, the Mac Mini is done. It looks like it's I think it's a memory issue, because it just, when I turn it on, it just beeps, and then it says like it's a memory issue. So I'm gonna try to fuck with that a little bit. So we might be a little light on the streams for a while, but we're going to try to, do what we do. All right. Green Lobster, what's up? What's up? Ozfell, Iron Aesthetics, what's up? So we're going to try out yesterday. Bro, please, what's up? We're going to do yesterday's stream. Let's see if I can get it working. So hopefully, I hope you enjoy Mr. Beast. I mean, like, as long as I could get it, like, if I could get my thing is not even the Mac. Like, it's just I need to access the hard drive. Once I can access the hard drive, I'm good. I just need to get a Thunderbolt cable, and I lost my Thunderbolt cable in the flood. Like, every single time something happens and I need to fix something, I'm reminded that it's lost in the fucking flood. Like, that's just nuts, man. So as long as I go get a new Thunderbolt cable, once I get that cable, I can go ahead and just transfer the shit off the hard drive and, have some light stuff on another laptop that I probably have around here. I think I got one more laptop around here. I don't know, but yeah, let's see what we can do. So let's get to it. first let me fix this right here. So my bad. I'm using like all new like OBS and shit like that. So it's if stuff comes out wonky, it's not my fault. I did everything I could. You know, don't hate me. All right. Let's get it started. Hold on. Let's see if I can move this video playback just a little bit, and we can get right to it. There we go.
I played Pal World, and I'll be honest.
Let's go back just right here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to
there
the
we
show.
go.
It's the Level 1 podcast for Tuesday, the 13th of February, 2024. I'm DSP.
All right.
I welcome you here.
What's up, Bahima? What's up,
show.
baby? Hold on to me. All right, we're good.
Is RPG Day. What I mean by that is today, all day long, I'm playing RPGs again.
Wait, why is not the chat
it just
showing
seems
up?
like these days, there's always an insane amount of RPGs out, and today is no exception.
There
we
you
have
go.
to really
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
I'm playing.
I just need, as long as I can, I have a way to
out.
broadcast stuff, I'm good.
There's another RPG coming out the end of the month in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And so we really have to make maximum progress in the ones we're already playing before that one comes out. So, RPG Day all day with gameplay. But on today's podcast, we have two topics to discuss. First, what I thought about Yoshimitsu yesterday.
Oh, what happened? You see what happened, guys? You see?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the
There we
show.
go.
It's the Level 1
Sorry about
podcast
that.
for Tuesday, the 13th of February, 2024. I'm DSP, and of course, I welcome you here to the show. Today is RPG Day. What I mean by that is today, all day long, I'm playing RPGs again. It just seems like these days, there's always an insane amount of RPGs out, and today is no exception. We have to really focus and hone in on the ones that I'm playing to make massive progress before the next one comes out. I know, it's true. There's another RPG coming out the end of the month in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
We don't care.
And so we really have to make maximum progress in the ones we're already playing before that one comes out.
There we go. Yeah, see, look,
so,
even the chat is
RPG
all
Day, all
weird
day with
looking.
gameplay,
Like,
but
I
on
can't.
today's podcast, we have two topics to discuss. First, what I thought about Yoshimitsu yesterday in Tekken 8 and my
Don't
plans
type
moving
MP in the
forward for
browser.
games, but also Pal World.
I don't watch.
Night,
Wait, time out. Hold
Pal World,
on. Yeah, let's
honestly,
hold on. I don't want to. I don't want to
I
derail.
finally hit the wall, and it was a different experience than the previous streams of Pal World that I have done.
Okay,
And
Phil.
it's not-
Phil, shut up. I wanna talk about that. Okay, like yo, like it's 2024, right? And like if you're out here getting caught with porn on your computer, like I don't feel sorry for you, my man. If you get caught with porn in your browser, I don't feel sorry for you. Like there's no reason for you to be storing porn in today's age. You can just literally go to a website, fucking load it up, and do what you got to do and keep it pushing. Why do you have to save this shit? I've never, like working IT, bro, like I've had to really sit dudes down and be like, like technically I'm supposed to report you for this. I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna be 100 with you. There's no reason for you to be storing porn on your computer. Okay? I'm not like, doesn't matter. We're not even getting into that part yet. We're still on the part where it's like you have the need to store it on the computer. That's a problem. Radman, if the internet is out, I have my brain. I have the greatest. I have the original computer, my brain. I could go through a Rolodex of scenes that I fucking remember and be good. I don't see the need. I just don't. I don't. Like, it's not that. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it, bro. People need to stop. Like, that's my thing. We're not even, like, we could get into the obvious CP stuff. Like, CP is bad. It's very bad, and you gotta go. It is what it is. But before we even get to that, I'm still stuck on why the fuck are you storing it? And it's nuts, man. It's nuts. I'm just saying right now, if you are not If you are under the age, if you are under the age of 60, if you are under the age of 60 and you out here literally storing porn on your computer, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. You need help. There's nothing wrong. If you watch it, you watch it. It is what it is. But if you're going out your way and you're storing it, you're downloading it, when you could just sit there and you could just remember the scene in the back of your head, it's weird. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say.
Good. When the whole idea of this stream is supposed to be, it's late night chill with the viewers, and I go to the viewers, and the viewers are disengaged, not paying attention.
What's up, Bits Entitled Gamer?
And essentially saying, what's next? Why is he still playing this? So we'll talk about that, because I would like to kind of give you, now that I played Power World for about a month, I'd like to give you my...
What's up, Grace Dragon, Gordon Flowers?
Overall thoughts on the game. And basically tell you, kind of my final thoughts on the game, because it looks like, as of now, I really don't have any further plans to play it again.
Yeah, that's about it. Like, unless it's like VHS shit, like shit you can't even fucking find, and like I guess, but like I said, it's about that time, man.
Yeah. So we'll talk about those two topics. Outside of that, I really wish there was like interesting game news to talk about these days, but instead, I open up the news feeds and you get a whole bunch of people arguing about politics again. People saying that the new Marvel movie sucks again. It's like the same news cycle every day, and
I mean, there's other things happening around the world. You could talk about something completely random. You could talk about, like, some guy that saved a cat or something. You could find out stuff that's going on in your neighborhood. That's something. Like, you could talk about things that, are happening down the block, or something exciting that you saw, like, on the news, like, on the actual news. Because I know, like, when you load up your computer, your local news stuff comes up, so that there had to be something. Like,
none of it's good. Like, none of it is stuff worth talking about on the show. I am seriously hoping this soon we're going to get some good, interesting game news out of somewhere. Because right now, it's kind of stagnant, I'll be honest. I mean, we really haven't had much at all. Now, remember, this coming Thursday is supposed to be the big Microsoft business update that they're going to talk about on their Xbox podcast. Where Phil Spencer will be there to discuss the future of Xbox gaming and dispel rumors that have been all around the last week and a half about, it looks like they're not even going to sell Xboxes anymore, which, by the way, he already dispelled that rumor internally. He did an internal memo to the company and says, no, we're not going to stop selling Xboxes. They don't know what they're talking about. Don't worry, I'll clear all this up later on. So, yes, I am interested in that, but outside of that, there is nothing else going on right now in the realm of gaming. So, today, we'll talk about what I've been doing, what I did yesterday, talk about the schedule for the week, and again, in this case, we'll have a little bit of chill, open Q&A.
It sucks, because I don't have, like,
you guys will be able to
I usually have, like, controls where I could fucking just fast forward a little bit, and I can't do it.
We can just go right into Baldur's Gate a little bit early, because today we're doing this Char's Gauntlet Challenge, or whatever it's called, and I don't know, I'm getting big conflicting messages about this. Some people are saying, this Char's Gauntlet is one of the worst parts of the game. It's like 6 hours long, it's super annoying and boring, and everyone hates it. And others are like, no, it's not that big of a deal. There's maybe like 3 puzzles, and you're already in the middle of the first one. And one of them has a lot of combat, so it's not that bad, and you should be done with it on this stream. And I'm like, how can you have 2 completely differing descriptions and opinions on the same gameplay element? It's like...
I don't know. Probably people have different perceptions. Like, again, this is like one of those non-issues that you're creating, and it doesn't work. And like, Phil, it's your stream. Play what the fuck you want.
Doesn't even make sense. How could it be both? I don't know how it could possibly be both. It sounds like 2 completely different things, right? Anyway, I guess we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's jump right into yesterday's gameplay festivities, shall we? So yesterday, I started off the day with Tekken 8, trying out Yoshimitsu for the very first time. And I'll tell you this, like, I am pleased, very pleased, with how I'm doing in this game, for the fact that you guys gotta understand something. I haven't really played modern Tekken in any competitive capacity at all. When the last 2 Tekken games came out, I bought them. I played them for a limited time. On YouTube a bit, just to go through, like, their stories. And I messed around with a few characters in a limited capacity, went online, flubbed around for a few weeks, and then quit them. I particularly remember in Tekken 7. Back then, I wasn't seriously committed to getting better at these games. So, I would just flub it for myself and learn what I could learn, and after a while, that was it. I even remember at Tekken 7, I was using Lily, and I got to a point where, basically, every time I played, people would be able to defend against everything I did, and to just, like, you know, slam me, counter hit me, and that was it. And I was like, well, the only way I'm going to get better at this game is, number one, to learn the more advanced mechanics of the gameplay engine. I'm going to have to utilize sidesteps, I'm going to have to utilize just frames and parries and things like that, and I just wasn't willing to do that. Like, I outright remember telling you guys, the fact that people don't really come to my channels to watch fighting games anymore, it didn't warrant that level of investment in the game, because I didn't think anyone really cared that much. And honestly, yeah, after about 2 weeks of me playing Tekken 7, the intention...
What's good, sis? How we doing, baby?
When I was playing it, people weren't really showing up or caring that much about it anymore. They were saying, what's the next game? So I particularly remember saying that to my audience, that, man, I know I could get better at this game, but it would take investment and work, and it doesn't seem like, me being a variety streamer, that this makes sense for me to put my time into it, and that's when I retired it. And the funny part about that was, every once in a while, someone would bring it up and say, will you play Tekken again? Will you play Tekken again? But it wasn't that often. And then I ended up playing more retro Street Fighter and stuff like that, because remember, this was the era of Street Fighter V, which I hated and never wanted to play. So I would always balance in retro fighters and things like that over the years. And then when Street Fighter 6 came out, I changed my attitude. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it an honest shot. I'm going to put a lot more time into this and see if it's worth my time. And in truth, I loved it, right? In truth, I really love Street Fighter 6. I like that they redesigned the game from the ground up. They made it way more complex. The online connectivity, best in any fighting game I'd ever seen up to that point. You know, all the new systems, the variety of the cast. The cast played very differently, unlike Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, how many pre-streams have he said the same shit? Like, we get it, dude. Like, it just...
Everyone was almost the same character, playing a pattern. In Street Fighter 6, everyone played a little differently, which was nice. Of course, now, 8 months in, it's a little different. But, you know, we're talking about when the game first came out. And at that point, you know, seeing that I liked the game, especially through the beta. Remember, I got into the beta, which really was a selling point. Like, maybe if I hadn't gotten into the beta, I wouldn't have been into it as much. But I really liked the beta. It was very promising. And I told you guys I was going to commit to playing a lot of it when it came out, which I did. I got good at it. And within the 8 months I played it, you know, tons of people loved it, supported it, wanted me to play more of it, actually. Took 4 characters to master, literally had Zangief on the path to master, but didn't have time to do it.
Because you stopped.
And overall, had a great time. Now,
you didn't have time to do it because you stopped.
admittedly, by the end of my time in Street Fighter 6, I was frustrated. Because once you hit the meta of the game, and you have the established top tiers and established top tier gameplay, it's very frustrating to break out of that mold. You know, every time I played it online, it was almost the same exact characters playing exactly the same way, almost uncounterable with the online play the way it is, with the netcode the way it is. And
but it's the best netcode. You said the best internet connections. Like, what is it? One or the other, Phil?
And, you know, I don't like playing those top tier rushdown characters. I like more of the oddball characters, and it was hard to hang with those characters. So I really like Street Fighter 6. But after 8 months, it needed a break, and definitely wasn't really having much fun playing it anymore, because it felt like it hit the limit of what you could do unless you were going to be a pro player, right? Like, unless I was going to commit to playing 5 hours a day and traveling for tournaments and all that.
No, you don't do that. You can still do that. Like, these guys don't do that anymore. They do it from online. They do it from the comfort of their homes. And then on top of that, it's like, you're not playing, like, it's a video game, you fucknut. Like, it's not about, like, people playing at, like, you know, people being the best at it. It's just, they're just that good at playing the game. That's all you have to do, is just play the fucking game. All right? Guy with 2 days, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. It says it via emojis, Waffle House loves you niggas. There, I said it. There, I said what he didn't want to say. So Waffle House loves each and every one of you guys, okay? Thank you, man.
I was never going to really get better, and I didn't really care to. So now with Tekken 8, my approach is very different.
And again, you know, the guy doesn't understand, he sounds like a fucking asshole when he talks, is that basically, I don't want to be good at the game, I just want to beat people. So, you know, since I wasn't beating people, I just had to stop.
Taking Street Fighter 6 way more seriously. Studying videos, right? Watching matchups, combos, investing the time into the game to learn the systems. I said, you know what, I wonder how it would be if I do that with Tekken 8. And
okay, so you don't care. So what was the purpose of you watching all these videos if you didn't care to get better? So, again, you don't hear yourself talk. So basically, you learned all this shit just so you can learn how to just beat up on people. So when these people knew how to basically counter your bullshit gameplay, you didn't want to play anymore.
If you haven't noticed, Tekken 8's been out for about 2.5 weeks. I'm doing way better in Tekken than I ever have before. The first time I'm touching Yoshimitsu, I've literally not used this character in the game yet, and I won 28 matches, lost 20, but I won more than I lost, and I had some really good matches against people that were ranked above me, close ones. I think one person I beat, most of them did beat me, but one person I didn't even beat. And it's like, how did that happen? Literally, this would be like walking to an arcade back in the day, having never touched a character, and just pick the character and just go on a big, oh, you're kicking everyone's butt in the arcade. How? How could you do that? Because things are different now. I have that foundation from playing Street Fighter 6 for 8 months, and now you can go on YouTube and you can study and learn stuff. And the thing is, again, my mind, I'm in that mindset of picking up stuff in fighting games more quickly now, and I really am. I actually feel like right now, probably the second best I've ever been at fighting games. The best was in the mid-2000s when I was great at Super Turbo, and I was also...
But my thing is like... Okay, so I just want to capture the mental illness of it all. Why are we discussing this heavily if you didn't care to get better? Like, if you're just playing the game. Like, if you're not trying to hit that pro, that pro echelon, what's the purpose? Like, dude, I was playing with Manon, and like I just wanted to find out. The only thing I looked up on YouTube in regards to Manon was just how to do that kick. That weird like ballet kick that she does. And I was trying to see if you could do it with modern controls. That's about it. But other than that, I was finding out the combos on my own. I don't have to study shit because I was just playing the game. What's up, Seal? How we doing, man?
Traveling and playing Third Strike and games like that at a high level.
What's up, Seal? My bad. It's just I'm not. This is just fucking stupid.
But right now, probably the second best I've ever been. I know that's crazy because you think, what do you mean? You're not even like playing in tournaments or anything. You're right.
But who cares? Why is this in the discussion if you're just playing the game?
But I'm investing time. I'm studying because now you can study. You couldn't study fighting games.
Why?
In the 2000s. Now you have YouTube. Now you can study endlessly, right? But for me, it's cool because I'm also getting that execution half down. I mean, within the first day, I'm getting the Yoshimitsu combo. I'm learning his counter hits. I'm learning his punishes. I'm trying to learn what to do in certain situations. I'm mixing up with throws. I'm doing the stance changes. It's my first time playing with him. And I'm doing all of this, right? Now, before you say, oh, that's so impressive or whatever, in reality, it's just because I used to play fighting games competitively for so long, I just kind of have that mindset. I'm not going to sit here and take tons of praise and credit like I'm some good player at Tekken. I'm not a good Tekken player.
You're not a good Tekken player.
Really not. It's just having that sponge-like brain mentality that I can absorb a lot of knowledge about a game like a fighting game really fast and usually apply it quickly.
So why can't you win tournaments? And why can't you compete with the people who play on Master in Street Fighter 6?
For me, the difficulties are the nuances. So, I can learn the basics of Yoshimitsu in a day and play at a decent level with him. My problem is now learning all the nuances. In what situations can Yoshimitsu punish a character? In what situations do you want to go for this level of damage versus this level of damage? When do you try to throw mix-up, or when do you do a high-low mix-up? When do I want to do the stance changes? Are there certain characters that are just better than Yoshimitsu in certain situations because their moves are faster or better or higher priority? Stuff like that. Situational knowledge is what I need to gain next. But man, I was actually happy with how it went yesterday. I thought I was going to get bodied because unlike Paul and King, who I've played in previous Tekken games, and unlike June, who's known to be a top-tier character in Tekken 8, this is a character that's more difficult to play, and I actually had a great time with it. So, I'm excited to play more. But anyway, yesterday went well. Listen, did I get bodied? Of course I did. I think someone triple perfected me. I don't care, especially because I think it was an Alyssa player, and Alyssa literally doesn't play anything like Tekken. All her moves are just bullshit spam that just stuff everything you do, and unless you know exactly how to counter her, she could just instantly steamroll you, which they did like 3 times. Like, she has a move where she hands you her head. How the fuck do I stop that?
I mean, you should have studied that, right, dumbass? Instead of you trying to fucking find out what's the winning pattern for every single player, I mean, for the player that you're trying to spam with, how about you learn how to defend against other characters? Wouldn't that work? Like, wouldn't that be worth studying?
I don't know. It's faster than a throw. It's not techable. What am I supposed to do? She's did it 100 times.
Why are you doing the stupid same voice crack that you did with Keemstar? Like, dude, you just lost in a video game. That's it. Again, you said it at the beginning of this fucking segment that you didn't care about playing this in a professional level. You didn't care about playing this at the most skillful of levels. So why do you care about you getting triple perfected?
What the fuck is this stupid shit? You know? So, anyway, like I had a good time regardless of the nonsense that happened. And I feel like I was getting way better, and then I ran out of time, right? That's what always happens. You're on a roll, you're starting to get better, you're learning.
Like, dude, this is really eating you up because your leg is shaking like fucking crazy.
You're adapting.
Like, you're really shaking right now.
Out of time. Every time with a fighting game, this happens to me. So, had a really good time with Yoshimitsu. I will continue to play with this character.
That titty is jiggling, my man.
Later in the week. I'm excited for what the future holds for him. I think that he's probably pretty versatile. Again, I'm not even using half his stuff.
That shit is just going. Look, he's just going.
You can ignore half the moveset and play at a good level.
Bro,
you know?
it's okay.
Crazy of a character.
It's okay. It's a video. It's just a game, bro. It's just a game.
So, looking forward to more of that later in the week. Last night, we played Pal World. Likely for the last time. Alright, so Pal World, let's now discuss it from start to finish. Because I played it for 11 hours. And I have a good amount of stuff to say about it. First of all, Pal World, I never planned on playing. Alright? I had heard about it that, there was going to be a Pokemon knockoff game. That's all anyone said. It was going to be a Pokemon knockoff game that looked like it was going to do things better than Pokemon. I remember, 2 years ago, people talking about it. And saying stuff that, this game's going to be, a litigation nightmare. Because they're literally using Pokemon from Pokemon. But it looks like the game is better than Pokemon. Okay? So, I had no plans at all to touch it or play it, and then all of a sudden, it comes out. It's a Game Pass game, by the way. And people are saying, it's great. It's so good. It's like guilty pleasure good because you feel bad playing it because you know that they ripped off Pokemon. But man, it does it better than Pokemon. It's a must play. You must experience it. Millions of people start buying this game in droves. It's hitting record number of players on Steam. So within 2 days of it coming out, people are like, hey, excuse me. Will you play it? And I'm like, I guess so. Why not? It's Game Pass. So because it's a Game Pass game, I have no risk in trying it. Let's just give it a shot.
Of course, no risk.
For a 3-hour stream, and immediately, I was immersed in this unique world that felt like a bunch of other games that I had played before. So first of all, right off the bat, there's so much that's like Minecraft. You're mining and or gathering resources, which you then use to craft things to survive, like houses, sites where you can endlessly mine or chop down wood. You can cook food, that kind of stuff. But then, not only does it have that survival element similar to like Don't Starve, because you always want to have enough food so you're not starving and stuff like that, but also, it has an element of Pokemon because of all the pals in the environment. And you run around, you can either fight them, you can catch them. If you catch them, they become your pals, and then you can train them, but also you can assign them to your camp to do tasks. So not only are the Pokemon essentially your fighting characters that you train up for competition.
A lot of you gotta stop it. A lot of people's out here fucking
with things like food, resources, etc.
Giving Phil all the misinformation.
That setup process, the game feels like one whole game. But then, eventually, after several hours of doing that initial setup process, you realize there's way more to the game. First of all, there's a giant open world that you can explore. First, you're exploring it on foot, and it feels like you're playing Zelda Breath of the Wild with a lot of the climbing and parkour mechanics. But then eventually, you get the ability to catch better pals and craft saddles for them. In which case, now you can ride them out, or you can
craft saddles,
one, or you could ride one in the water, and that opens the game up a ton because now you can use your pals for combat while riding them, and now it feels like an action game. Versus before, it was like a crappy slow survival game. Now it actually feels like the game's opened up to be a more interesting action game. And then, of course, you start realizing, it's not just about open-world traversal and capturing pals and leveling up your base, but also there's other elements. There's camps of enemy troops that you can fight. There's dungeons that you can enter with special pals and boss fights inside and rare items. There's boss towers in the environment where you can climb a tower and fight a special boss fight with a trainer and a pal that advances, in a major way that either the game or your resources or whatever it may be. And then there's also localized boss fights in the open world that are big pals with giant energy bars, right? So, this game has a lot to it. For a game that's in early access, it's not even fully released, it's pretty well fleshed out for the content that's in there. And so, every time that I played it, I kind of felt like the new focus. So the first day was just getting my bearings on how to play it and get a base set up. The second stream was, getting the base more streamlined, getting resources that auto-generate. And then, like, the third stream was like, now we got to capture pals, level up more, start crafting good things for my character, like weapons and armor, and eventually have a pal I can ride, so traversal's a lot more easy. There we go. And then the next time, let's go into our first dungeon, right? Let's explore the dungeon. Let's take out the enemies, kill our first boss, try to level up a little more. And then after that,
let me see if I can zoom this up.
Let's find better pals, let's recruit them and level them up, and prepare for the boss fight. Then it was, let's take on that first boss. Let's do that next daunting challenge, right? And basically, the game has been fun until last night. Last night, I was basically facing hours 10 and 11 of the game. At this point...
How much money did he get, guys? How much money did he get last night?
All right. Now, not to say that I've done everything in the game. I was just getting to the point where you could craft the guns. I had already crafted melee weapons and bow and arrow and crossbow.
What's
but
up,
now we were
Mew?
getting to the point where you could actually use guns as weapons, which is one of the big things that people were freaking out about this game. It's Pokemon with guns, right?
Damn. Not even a glasses goal. Shit.
And so finally I got to that point. But by the time you get to that point, you realize you've kind of already seen everything. Like, once you reach a certain point in the game, you've hit the loop of what the game's going to be. And after you've seen the extent of what the game has to offer, you're like, okay, so now it's just more of the same. And that's what I felt like last night. Like, every stream before then when I played Pal World, I felt like I was unlocking something new, doing something unique and different that I hadn't done before. Last night, I was like, okay, so what do I do? Well, I gotta level up more. How do you level up? Catching pals. So we gotta level up. So we went out and caught a whole bunch of new pals or whatever. Leveled up. Okay, build the new item the game wants you to build.
What's up,
so you can level up
Shotbot?
base to the next
Reem, what's
level.
good, baby?
So I crafted these beds or whatever they were. I think first it was a weapons bench. Then it was a couple, like, pal beds for them to sleep on. So I did all that. And I'm like, so what's next? Oh, finally you can make the weapons, but to do that, now you need more resources. Alright, so I go into the open world. I'm mining the resources that I need. I'm catching more pals. I happen to go into some new areas I hadn't been in before. And these areas were challenging.
Okay.
Pals were more...
So Ann says, I like how he literally forced this game onto folks out of nowhere, struck while the iron was hot, played it a few times in a relatively hot period, and still managed to capture no new audience. And we're talking about the same guy who managed to drum up a drama vortex with Keemstar during a hot new release of Grand Theft Auto, pulled in 1,000 viewers, and didn't do shit until everybody left. This is the same guy. He's not about it, man. He's not about the success. He's not about capitalizing on opportunities. He just wants you to deposit the money in the PayPal account so he could get the gin and he could crush the gems. That's all he's about. That's it. This man out here, I'm telling you, this is why I don't get mad if this dude ever catches a breakout opportunity, because he'll go ahead and fuck it up. The dude had an opportunity to have a documentary made where he could have made himself look good. He could have went ahead and dispelled a whole bunch of rumors. What the fuck does he do? He just does it for the short-term engagement, the short-term attention span, and then just boom, killed it. The dude's a dumbass. The dude doesn't know how to do this shit. He doesn't know how to do this content creation thing. He's a bum. He's a panhandler. That's it. All this is to fuel his panhandling operation. His simple Simon ass in there. Dude, you could give him... Yo, he could have another home front scenario and still fuck it up. He's not meant for success, man. He's not.
Aggroed to you. They would come, like, right after you. And they would actually kick your ass really fast. So I did die quite a few times last night. I think I died like 3 or more times. And then, you know, basically I was like, so what do I do next? Well, endlessly gain or mine these materials for crafting. I can endlessly catch pals to level up. I can endlessly just build the new thing required for the next level of my base. Wash, rinse, repeat. Yes, there's dungeons, but they're just caves or instances where you fight a bunch of pals, get some items, and fight a boss. And you get to the boss towers, which I've already seen. All you just go inside, there's a big boss fight against the trainer. That's literally the game. Like, that's it. There's nothing.
What's good, Ice? How you doing, baby?
I was realizing, so all it's going to happen is the pals are going to get bigger and tougher, so I need better weapons and armor, but it's always going to be the same. Like, nothing's going to change about this. Maybe the one thing would have been if I had a mount, or like a way to ride one of the flies.
I don't think Phil has to worry about that.
One big thing.
So Seal says, I have said in other chats too, but they passed new laws about misinformation on the internet, mostly covers like medical and political stuff, of course, but Dave better be scared. I don't feel like Dave's in any danger in that regard, because I feel like he's gonna skate. He's going to skate the line. I don't think he's ever going to cross it. We're never going to get apart. We're going to get dumb takes. We're not going to get truly controversial takes from Phil. And I don't think he's going to go that hard and talk about things that really have that level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like gravitas or some shit like that. So I think he's good. Because he would be too scared to to swim those waters, so to speak. What's up, Bo Pispa? How we doing, baby?
Kind of left to do in the game. But outside of that, I mean, what else was there to do? Literally nothing. Now, Pal World is meant to be a cooperative experience, meaning what you really want to do is create a world that's shared and have other people join you. And I think that if you do it as a shared world experience, it probably would be a little better. Because think of it this way. Let's say you're playing with 3 friends. So you're going to be...
Here we go with another example of Phil not having friends. So therefore, this isn't good.
Catching pals. They're going to be gathering resources.
Pal World isn't good because he has no pals. News at 11.
Taking on some dungeons for rare items. And so you all do your thing, right? So maybe if you want to take on a tougher dungeon, 2 of you go into the dungeon together and take it on together while the other 2 are off doing other things. And then eventually you keep reconvening, you keep dumping your resources together, and you get that big leveling. It feels like a community working together to survive, right? I feel like maybe that, as a social experience, the game probably has some longevity. I could definitely see a group of friends teaming up to play this game in the long term. And maybe even doing their own community, their own YouTube channel where they build that community. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Well, again, he brings it back to YouTube. Why can't just people? We're talking people. These games aren't made for with content creators in mind. This isn't made for the content creator to showcase on his YouTube channel. This is meant for people to play and enjoy. That's the first thing that should come to mind with the game. Okay, stop thinking about people. Stop thinking in terms of YouTube. This is another example where I say, dude, YouTube runs this man's life. All this man does is YouTube.
Like, I could totally see that happen and be good. But basically, after having played the game for 10 hours, solo, I think I've seen everything that I want to see. I mean, I'm sure there's some big boss fights near the end. There's probably some giant pals to fight with, you imagine getting a Gatling gun. And you're riding like a fast horse or a bull, and you're riding around just shooting the pals, right? Or you're swooping in on a bird, and you're dropping bombs on stuff or whatever. Okay, cool. But at the same time, are you really doing anything different? No, you're just using guns to do it, but you're still doing exactly the same thing, right? So, for me, after having seen this gameplay loop, and again, it's Minecraft or Don't Starve kind of combined with its traversal. It's definitely got huge Pokemon rip-off elements, because yes, the pals are definitely rip-off Pokemon. And the only difference is it's not turn-based. Like Pokemon is being a turn-based combat game. This is active combat. It's action. It's not turn-based, boring style RPG. You know what I mean? So, after 11 hours, we all disengaged with it. It wasn't just you or me. Like last night, I could tell we were all kind of bored with it. And I said to everyone, the real reason why I thought that Pal World could work in the long term was not going to be the game. It was going to be the chill vibes and atmosphere of it. So, for example, when I used to play Minecraft, I used to play Minecraft once a week, and
Who gives a fuck? Okay, it's not Minecraft. Who gives a fuck about what you used to do back in the day? Because we can literally just go back and see it. Phil, come on, give me something new. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks. Give me something.
did that for like a year and a half. So I had like 60, 70 installments of this game, okay? And the reason that really worked is because every week people came back to hang out. They would talk with me about anything while I played Minecraft. It could be pop culture. It could be video games. It could be just what's going on in each other's lives. Timely stuff for the holidays. All kinds of stuff like that, right? And I would build things every week based on what people wanted. And I had some help from Mr. Papavera. If you remember, he used to come into the game world and help me with building portals and all kinds of shortcuts.
See, it's not fun because he doesn't have any friends. He has no whales to give him money, and he has no friends to play with him. He's lonely. He doesn't like the game because he's lonely.
Cuts and things, which is really awesome. And it was a really good time, but really, it wasn't necessarily the Minecraft world that was the successful focus. It was the social experience we had together. And so when I started playing Pal World, I said, sure, initially, this game's going to be engaging because we're going to be seeing all these new elements for the first time. And you're going to be excited for that. Every time you see a new element, it's more interesting. But once we
What's up, Ames? How we doing, baby?
Reliant on the community being fun and wanting to talk and hang out, right? Rather than the game. And I knew that, because I knew with Minecraft at one point I hit kind of the wall of what you could do or see in it. And it was more about what you wanted to see me build while we talked or hung out doing it, correct? So, for me, I knew from the get-go that's what would work. And last night, within 10 hours, we had already hit that point where, like, we had seen everything that was interesting in the game, and that's it. What a short gameplay loop. Only 10 hours to see it all. Especially for a survival game. That's not a lot, you know what I mean? And we were, like I said, the chat, sadly, was very disengaged. But for about half an hour, everyone was interested, and all of a sudden then, people stopped talking to me. They're either going off having their own conversations, or the chat was very slow, not much going on. And that's a horrible sign. It basically means people got bored. Now, I don't want to be bored playing a game on a stream. That's the opposite of the point of me doing it, right? I'm here to hang out with you guys and have a good time while we're entertained by a video game. That's the point. So why
Translation: I play video games for you to give me money.
am I playing this then, right? And that's basically what happened. Is by the end of the night, I was proposing to the chat. I was like, what do you guys think? Do you think that we should keep playing this? Do you think that this is a game that you would want to keep in the rotation? Would you rather do something else? So it was funny, because as I'm talking to people, people were like, oh, no, that's it. We've seen it. That's enough. I was like, really? I mean, there were very few people who were actually defending the game. They were like, nah, you know, in reality, here's what people are telling me now. So the viral popularity of the game has already died out. Like, after about, 3 weeks to a month of this game now being out, most of the memes and the viral stuff is gone. It's not even that popular anymore. Now, a ton of people bought it, so they're going to keep playing it, but in reality, it's just not that hot of a topic anymore. It was hot for a month, and
Dude, but again, people played the game and they moved on. That's it. It's a single player. I mean, it's there's a narrative, whatever. They beat it, they keep moving. Just same thing with Hogwarts Legacy. Again, this like consumer mindset that you have, where like you have to play the latest games that the latest corporation has shoveled into your fucking gullet. Like, dude, just I repeat this all the time. Just play the fucking video game. Pick a game and play it. Play it to completion. That's it. That's it. Stop trying to be like these fucking like console fanboys on fucking Twitter and shit like that. You just gotta follow the trends. It's like, dude, enjoy this shit. Enjoy the fucking game.
it's kind of like what I always say. With these games that come out before big new releases or between big new releases, they get hype because there's literally nothing else going on. But then when something else comes out and happens, that's what gets the hype. It's this, what's the next new thing, right? So if you noticed, in early of this year, there just wasn't a lot going on with games. And so when this game came out, it was almost like, oh, a surprise drop, a game that actually is unique and interesting and something that you could talk about, with your social circles. And it became the game to play for a while, but then other releases started coming out. You had Tekken, you had Like a Dragon, you had Helldivers, you had Suicide Squad, which of course everyone hates, but was the topic for a few days, right? And once those things started hitting, the attention got pulled away from Pal World. And are there people still playing it? Yes, because millions of people bought.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like.
But now here we are a month later, and a lot of people are like, "Oh shit! Like, I'm not playing it anymore. There's nothing really to it." So,
like, how long are people supposed to be talking about these games?
That's what happens, I feel. Now listen, they may very well update this game a ton, but this leads me into the second half of the reason why I don't think we should play Pal World anymore. The Xbox version is dramatically behind the PC version. Like, the Xbox version has like almost no new features since I played it a month ago. It hasn't been updated that often. While apparently the PC version gets updates like every day. In the PC version, you can name your pals.
We got it! Ding, 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 ding. He's upset because the Xbox version doesn't let him do his scam. It's bad because he can't scam.
PC version, the graphics are dramatically improved. All these new gameplay elements have been introduced that make it a lot more fun.
Like what? Pick one. Pick one. Outside of naming the pals, pick one, DSP.
Well, the Xbox version's essentially been the same exact game for a month with no improvements.
No, but what are these features? Tell me these features, these gameplay features that make the game, unique and shit like that make the Xbox Game Pass version seem pale in comparison. Please, tell me these features, bro.
So, to show the big difference between platforms, I mean, that's a huge difference. To have tons of missing features, people are telling me as I play, well, why aren't you doing this and this? I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What's this and this? What's the this? What's the this?
And then you look, it's not in the game. They're playing the PC version. I'm not. And they're like, oh shit, I didn't know that wasn't in the console.
What, Phil? What feature are you talking about?
So, it's kind of a big letdown, only because, in reality, if both versions were equal, perhaps the game would have been much better. Plus, they're talking crossplay and stuff. You'll never have crossplay in this game. If this is the situation, there's no way the versions can crossplay. They'll always be out of sync, So, It is disappointing in that regard. Perhaps if there had been...
Seal, I know he's lying. Seal says there are no features in the PC that aren't on Xbox. He really is such a liar, and no one cares. No one in chat is saying this shit. We watch his chat all the time. Exactly. I want to know what. Like, I make up a feature, DSP. Come on, make up a feature at least. Give me that. Give me something.
Updates and things making it better or more interesting over the last month, there'd be more interest in the game. But it's the same game I played a month ago, and we've done everything. You know. So in my opinion, all right. It's a good game for a time waster. If you have Game Pass, check out Pal World. But it's definitely not anything that's going to have much longevity, in my opinion. It's a game.
I'm sorry, Misery Merchant.
Because they got away with what they're getting away with, essentially stealing the Pokemon IP, right? But outside of that, it's just a survival game with Pokemon elements, and you'll see everything within 10 hours, and then it's kind of like, well, what's next? What's the point, right? There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's no story in this game. So there's nothing to aspire to do. There's no reason to keep going because there's no ending. You understand?
You didn't beat it, though. You don't know that.
Later on, we're going to add in raids, and we're going to add in-game content, but none of it exists yet. So why are you going to go past the 10-hour mark when the entire game is exactly the same?
But you didn't play it. You don't know that, though.
No payoff at the end. You know what I mean?
You don't know that.
No, there's no story. Pal World has no story. It's just survival and pal raising and catching and leveling. That's literally it. That's the loop. Survival, fighting pals, catching pals. Done. That's the whole game in a nutshell. So, let me put it this way. I'm happy that I played it because it was something that everyone was talking about, and I feel like if I hadn't played it, I would have been out of the loop and not understood what everyone was talking about.
But why would you care?
And it wasn't bad for what it was.
Oh, we know. Sorry about that. But, Phil, I want you... We all know that he's giving this up. Because he can't do the scam. But, Phil, I want you to, like... Can you flesh out these mental gymnastics a little better? Because it's leaving me... It's leaving me wanting more. Because I want to get into the mind. And I want to know, like... Where are you getting this from? Uh-oh. What happened?
Plus, it was Game Pass, so it was no real loss or investment on my part.
There was no risk.
And after having played it last night, I was so bored. I would rather be playing anything else. I'd rather be playing more Yoshimitsu and Tekken, more Like a Dragon, so that way I could get further in that game. More Baldur's Gate. I'd rather be playing Sea of Stars. I'd rather be scratching my ass. You know, it's boring. So, we kind of drew the line and said, all right. Last night, someone actually sent me a very lengthy message. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna try to like summarize it. All right, but basically,
you know, he loves those lengthy messages.
What this person said, they sent me a big email, and in summary, here's what they said. They said, you said something the other day that resonated with me, and I'd like to emphasize this. They said you had mentioned that on some of your streams recently, in particular, when you do your podcast and you're just hanging out with your audience, that people tend to come by and engage and contribute. And sometimes you'll boot the game up after. And you say, man, the rest of the stream is dead. Like, people disengage, people don't support. Well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe this is a sign that times are changing. That the days of being a full-time gamer and sitting around playing games all day are in the past. That people...
Yes.
Just don't care as much about that anymore. You know, there was a time when it didn't matter what game I played.
I knew this is what he was going to talk about, but it's just hearing him say it. It just sounds so glorious.
People would come by and engage in support and love it. And now I think those days are past. That people would much rather have a social experience with me.
Yes, you're going to be killing the gameplay, baby.
Than just basically play any old game just to say there's a game on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the question is, right? Is that the case? I'm 41 years old. I'm going to be 42 in less than 2 months.
Dude, there is literally old men, retired veterans who play games on Twitch, on YouTube. They're popular on TikTok. They got it. There's this old Chinese dude that's out there playing video games. You're wilding right now. This is madness. Come on, man.
Now we're reaching the time of my life where I'm older, and the people who are coming by to my streams every day are coming by more to hang out with me than watch me play a game. Is that really the case? Maybe it is. Maybe that actually is what's going on now. And this is something that I've been saying for years was going to happen. I told you guys, listen, as I get older, all right, I know I'm not going to be able to play video games as much as I do now. I know I'm not going to be able to play at a high of a level.
There's so many people right now who are around your age, who are your age, who are older than you, who are playing video games, and they're still successful at it.
Tell you right now, as I'm doing this with my hands, and I just do this little stretch exercise, all of the muscles in my right hand are incredibly tense right here, all in the joints, and have pain. It's carpal tunnel. And it's because I've been playing video games full time for 15 years. And I'm doing this right now. Tons of pain shooting through my pinky right now, right here, as the muscle extends, just doing this exercise.
Okay, so that's, I mean, again, there are literal senior citizens who are playing video games right now who do not have this issue. Okay, like I know you're lying, but I'm just entertaining what you're saying. That's a you problem, bro.
Because the human body is not meant to sit around playing video games all day. You know what I mean? As I get older, these things are going to happen. And I know I'm not going to be able to keep doing these full time like I've been doing for how long now. And so I've been telling you guys that this is why over the last several years I've been trying to more diversify my content. At one point it was literally I sit here all day playing video games and that's the footage I put out. And then after a while I was like, you know, I don't want to just play video games. Let's do some vlogging. Let's do some this. Let's do some that. And that's how the whole idea of a morning podcast came about. Let's diversify and do something different. Let's just hang out. Let's have conversation. Let's talk about news. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about upcoming games. Let's talk about whatever you guys have on your mind. Let's do this every day. Correct? And I'm happy to do that. I like doing that a ton. And a lot of you have come out and said, yeah, I literally only tune in.
Shady J, thank you for the 49 super chat. What's good, man? Don't forget about that grandma that played Skyrim and people love her. Exactly. We got old ladies playing Skyrim. My bad, guys. I'm not doing the Linda voice today. My voice is a little hoarse. Tomorrow we should be back in business, but right, my voice is a little fucked up. But you're absolutely right. There's a grandma that plays Skyrim and she's amazing at it, and she's still good. Come on, bro.
Into your podcast these days, unless there's a big game that I'm really interested in. I'm way more interested in you and your opinions and your discussion with us than I am about you just messing around with any old game, especially when it's games that I'm not too interested in. Yeah, and that's the difference. Back in the day, I was a big YouTuber, and anyone would always wanted to tune in no matter what I was playing. It was like an event to see darksydephil play a game. Today, it's not anymore. I'm a small-time guy.
No, it's because you're boring.
People just pick and choose the games.
You don't play video games anymore the way that you used to, because the thing is, now that you have an ego, you're afraid of people making fun of you. You're afraid of people criticizing you. You're afraid of people ridiculing you on the internet. You know, you try to go ahead and spoil yourself, and you try to set up the game in a way so that you can just beat it easily, so that way you don't look like an asshole. And the thing is, people can see that, and it makes for boring content. Like, people can't even make fun of you for doing that because, like, again, you fuck up everything you touch. So you're not getting the attention that you used to. It's okay.
They want to watch, and me playing games full time, half the time it's kind of like I'm playing for myself, right? Let's be honest here. You know, do I have an audience for certain games? Yes, I do. But it's not a giant audience like it used to be. So maybe this is a sign. If literally
What's up, boys? We're just
chilling. I hang
chilling
out with you guys for 2 hours on a podcast, and everyone's engaged in having a good time and talking with me and supporting the podcast, and then I turn on a game and it's dead for the next 3 hours. Is that a sign? Now, by the way, that's not what happens every day. I'm just saying, this is something that people have been observing recently, is that, yeah, this is happening with certain games on and off. It's not every day, okay? And no, I have no plans to say, oh, I'm just going to quit playing games. No, absolutely not. I'm a gamer at heart. It's my lifelong hobby. Way before I would never just give up gaming. That's ridiculous. I'm not.
Ames, thanks for the $2 super chat, baby. Talk about the news and play games together, Phil. Exactly.
I'm going to become darksydephil today, where all we do is talk about different topics. Hour 1, we do the podcast. Hour 2, it's politics hour. Hour 3, it's current events hour.
You literally do that. You do that now. We're gonna talk about the schedule. No. We're gonna talk about what we did yesterday. Then we're gonna talk about the schedule. Then we're gonna have this gaming news segment. Then after that, we're gonna have Q&A. I know that we're gonna do shout outs. Then Q&A. You do that now. You're literally doing it right now as we speak.
Hour 4, it's drama and gossip hour. Hour 5, no, we're not doing that. Okay?
Exactly, Sizzy Mac. Sizzy says his entire podcast is literally about wasting time.
But the point I'm making is that as I get older, that's probably the direction we're going. You understand? I know this is gonna be. It's gonna be a slow transition, but I feel like I've got to prepare everyone for that transition. For those out there who've only known darksydephil as an online YouTube gamer for the last 15 years.
No, nobody's known you for a gamer. Nobody knows you as a gamer. Everyone knows you as the guy that beats your meat. Everyone knows you as the guy who fucking begs for money. That's the thing. Your name is DSP Gaming, but you're not known for gaming.
Definitely moving in this other direction now. Okay? People are tuning in just to
I'm dying, Rob. I'm dying.
Opinions, not to see me play a video game all the time. Not to say that, again, that doesn't exist. It does. And people are excited for certain games and things, but it's not every game all the time. Right? And when I find myself being faced with challenges and changes, right now, no exaggeration, this month, I'm down over $1,000 of revenue.
Oh my God.
Give it back. I was hoping maybe some people who had memberships and got a free one from this stupid membership exploit that these trolls are using would have said, all right, well, I normally would buy a membership for Phil from his channel to support him, and I got a free one, so I'm going to, do a super chat instead, or I'll tip instead. That hasn't happened, okay?
Okay, because again, it's not, you don't understand that, you seem to not understand that these things are not an obligation, okay? None of the money that you get is owed to you. None. You haven't earned it. You should be thankful for the people who spent the money on the Argentinian memberships. Again, you're getting upset about free money not coming in fast enough.
It hasn't. And so because of that, I'm out of tons of revenue.
So what?
And that's not my fault, and that's not your fault. That's YouTube's system being abused and YouTube being slow as shit to doing anything about it, as they always have been, okay? And then I boot up a game. Oh, let's play a game today. And the whole stream's dead. No one's paying attention. No
because
one's
it's boring.
No support's coming in.
Because it's boring.
This is a business I'm operating. Okay, this is my livelihood.
Okay.
As much as people who live in a fantasy world would like to say, "Oh, Phil shouldn't eBay and Phil shouldn't put any of this stuff up," that's because they live in a fucking fantasy world. They don't live in reality like us. They live in a place of rainbows, unicorns, sprinkles, pots of gold, dancing.
My man, we literally spent an entire fucking day watching you eat bullshit ass fucking food and fucking watching a simulation of a video game. Okay? You don't leave the house. Okay? You don't have any obligations to anyone besides yourself. You literally do not change out of your pajamas. You live the fantasy world. You live in the fantasy world, and not even a good one at that.
Leprechauns and shit that doesn't fucking exist. All right? In reality, I have to make a living doing this. Okay?
No,
and I'm
you
not
don't.
asking.
No. The reality is that not that you have to, is that you put yourself in a position where all you can do is this. You are the one who situated himself and dug his roots into this content creation thing and basically set it up in a way that it is like a 9-to-5 job that he needs. Imagine you're telling some salaryman about how hard your day is, and you telling this motherfucker that you don't even leave the fucking house. Imagine telling a contractor, a first responder, a teacher, about how hard your job is. You would get laughed at.
For any more than what you guys have always done for me. I'm saying that now I'm at a significant loss, all right? And I'm faced with reality that it looks like more people are tuning in. And
Trash Man, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Most cult leaders say they're Jesus. He says he's Job. Talk about an underachieving fantasy. Exactly. He can't even do self-grandize. What's that word I'm looking for? Self-grandizing correctly. I'm too glazed for this shit.
enjoying the content I do when I'm just talking with you than when I'm playing games. Not in all cases. If you're playing a high priority game or a game that's more challenging, you know what I mean? There are games that absolutely, the more hype behind them, people like that. But I feel like there's certain hype games that people will always come out and support, and then there's other games that are kind of like the games in between, and people are like, eh, and some people will show up and some people won't, right? So I basically have to figure something out here. Like, what's the balance? What does this data tell me? Because again, this is my business. I have to analyze this data in a very smart manner and professional manner.
What
If
data?
I'm seeing that when I am doing shows, like for example the podcast, or for example the new Retro React stream, where it's just me reacting to my old gameplay and laughing, we're all laughing together, and I'm commentating at how bad that gameplay used to be. If that's doing better than me actually playing new games, there's obviously been a change, correct? And I'm trying to observe and acknowledge this change so that we can adapt for the better. I want to put out content that you want and that you will show up and support, all right? I don't want to be playing games all day, every day, and people telling me that now I'm a dinosaur because I'm just playing games all day, right? I don't want this to be like it was 10 years ago when I wasn't doing direct capture. Well, at this point I was, but you know what I'm saying, like the 2012, 2013 era. Didn't do direct capture, didn't do live streaming, was just doing the same thing every day, in and out, not innovating, not changing, not listening to feedback.
That's what you're doing now.
Way behind. Because the truth is, if in 2012 I had listened to all the feedback that I was getting, and I jumped on that movement, let's start live streaming, let's be interactive live streamers, let's change the content up, let's do direct capture, let's try new projects. If I had done that when I still had my popularity on YouTube, today things would be very different.
Yes.
I wouldn't have ended up being the whipping boy of the internet.
Yes.
Right?
I mean,
This is how you
technically,
don't play,
yes.
Making fun of me, Phil's the living meme that sucks at games and blah, blah, blah. None of that would happen. If I was smart enough back then to see the trends changing and roll with the suggestions you were giving me, I would have been in a much better position. But I did.
You're fine, but you're admitting it right now. Mr. Gino, thank you for the $10 super chat. Evo, helicopter job, machinima, Twitch, YouTube, fake cat reveal, fake parent impending death, fake marriage, fake happiness, not Phil. You fail while everyone else lives better lives. Better fulfilling lives. Exactly. And to go back to you about Phil not being smart. Back then, you're just not smart, Phil. That's the whole point. You're just not smart. You were not smart enough to do these things that these people were telling you to do. You were not smart enough to listen to the people who were propelling your success. Because you're stupid.
I was obstinate and stubborn and stupid, and I acknowledge that today because it's a decade later, and it's easy to look back and say, wow, I was so dumb. But back then, I thought my shit didn't stink.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I'm the
I mean,
popular.
again, I'm glad you're acknowledging this because this is how you ended up in the position that you are now. This is what I love this shit because it's not even Phil. Phil, this goes outside Phil. You have people who wonder why their lives are so fucking shitty, and then you can literally look back at their lives and just point exactly when did it start happening. If you were aware of these things, you should have taken advantage, but you didn't. So this is the consequence of you not taking advantage. You didn't want to do any of these improvements, any of these things that your audience were asking you to do, and your contemporaries were doing it. So now your contemporaries are getting the success you should have gotten. That's why PewDiePie, Maximilian, what have you, these people are more successful than you.
YouTuber, not you. I know better than you. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing
And-
because I like doing it, and I'm successful at doing it, so I'll just keep doing it and never change.
And look what happened.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't, and that's why you're in the situation that you're in now. Again, Phil, let's highlight mental illness. This is the part where you have a moment of reflection and say, damn, I should stop doing this.
ended up I had to change, and it was too little too late, and, you know, I fell behind the times, and I went from being Mr. Prominent on YouTube to the joke of YouTube, right? It's literally what happened. So today, when I'm seeing these new trends, okay, and I'm hearing these things about what you guys are saying and everything, I realize I need to listen to feedback, I need to observe the patterns, and I need to change with the times. So what does that mean? I don't know yet. I don't know. Like right now, on this very podcast, I have 464 viewers. When I start playing Baldur's Gate, we're going to have 200 viewers.
Because it's boring.
Because people are going to leave.
Because it's boring.
Now, again, not to say this will happen with every game. Hot new games always get that attention at first, but then that attention dies out over time. Certain styles of games, like the ultra challenging games like Lies of P or a FromSoft style game, those usually retain viewers and interest for longer periods of time, right? But it really depends. It really depends because it's funny. Again, it used to be any game that I played would get interest. Now, not at all. You know, like a Dragon, it's very hard to retain interest. Even Tekken 8, which I've been telling you over the last week, I love Tekken 8. I think it's a great fighting game, and I'm actually doing really good at learning it at a fast pace and getting better. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's many that care. And that's sad, because I really like it. And I think that I have potential to get much better at fighting games in the future if I apply myself the way I am now, with the whole studying aspect and applying... I mean,
and making it boring. More and more boring.
That's the first day he played that character? What? Seriously? Yeah. I never even touched him before. I didn't even know his moves until the night before when I watched videos. So doing that well, you know what I'm saying? Pretty cool, right?
There's the Cope laugh.
So, I would love feedback on this topic. Okay? Absolutely, positively, I would love feedback on this topic. I want to know what it is that you like most about my content and what you want to see more of. And if you have a very strong opinion about something I'm doing right now that I shouldn't be doing, let me know. Or if it's something that you like that I'm doing and you want to see more of it, let me know. I want feedback on this. Because I want to be doing things that you want, especially at a time when I need to have people supporting the business. I do. Right now, I'm in big risk right now. That if the trend doesn't pick up or change in the next 1 to 2 months, I'm going to be shit out of luck this year trying to afford everything.
I hope so.
Because all the membership revenue is gone.
I hope so.
And that was no exaggeration. Over $1,000 a month.
I really hope so.
That is now literally gone.
Logan K, thanks for the $5 super chat. These are the words of an addict trying to appeal to a benefactor to get more money. All empty, regretful lies. You want consistency? Get a job. Exactly. Get a job, Phil. Walmart. Yeah, I think I would love to see Phil as a Walmart greeter just to watch him fuck it up. I would love to see him just not even say hi to people. Like he'll just hi. He'd fuck that up. Again, he can't do anything right.
No one is paying for memberships anymore. Everyone got a free one.
That's the chair.
You see? So, that's horrible. And that's something that I need to figure out. Okay? So, let's talk about it. Alright? Let's figure it out. And by the way, don't let the white noise of the troll idiots who come in, you know, basically kill our intelligent discussion about this. Because I'm talking about people who are actually fans of me and my content. Not people who come in, oh, your content sucks. Well, that's funny. That's hilarious. Ha ha ha. But that doesn't help. That's not constructive criticism.
I mean, it's boring. You know? It sucks. It sucks. It's prefabricated, boring bullshit. That's what it is. That's all it is. Prefabricated, boring bullshit. Play a game organically. Okay? Try not to have control of the situation. Things like that. You've been told this before, and you don't want to do it. Dwight, what's up, baby?
I want to know what it is that people do like about me, because people do show up and do support at certain times. Why do you? What is it that you like that you want to see more of?
Watch you fail. And that's the biggest issue here. People want to see you fail. People have seen that you are an irredeemable piece of shit, and they find joy in watching you fail. So can you fail more? You don't want to do that though, because you have an ego. You're a narcissist, so you can't even do that shit correctly. So what's it gonna be, Dave?
This is what I want to hear. This is what I need to hear.
What's up, movie sound? How we doing, baby?
Constructive things I need. What is it that I should not be doing? Correct? What is it that I'm doing too much of that you don't like? Because maybe the days of me being the full-time gamer are done, right? Maybe I do. Maybe I need to play way less games, and I need to start splitting my time between other projects and other efforts. I tried this last year with the React stuff, and you guys.
August Stevenson says, There's a clip of Pippa reacting to Phil, and she says, "Your fans are here for you, so just change the game if you don't like it."
Adamantly raged against that and said, no, you're doing too many reacts. You're doing full days of reacting to other YouTubers and their channels, documentaries and things like that. You're taking too much time away from the gaming. Don't do that. Do more gaming. So I went back. I literally went forward and went right back to the way it was because this is what people said they wanted.
No, he's
what you want.
He's been tested, movie sign.
But now
what's up, Suds? How you been? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're all right, baby.
I'm sitting here playing games, and I'm actually losing viewers when I start to play the video game. That's not good.
The video game?
Something up with that, right? By the way, I'm going to try to fix the frame rate on my camera, which tanked for no good fucking reason. So let me just mess with my camera for a little bit here.
Again, Phil, this is why. This is why.
See, the frame rate's fine at 640.
There was nothing wrong with the frame rate in the first place.
Here's a lower res widescreen. This is probably the resolution I'm going to be using tomorrow when I do co-op with my wife. That way we can do widescreen, but it'll kill as many computer resources if I do.
Oh, man. Hold up, Phil. Come on, bro. Come on, man. That's not right. Why? See, he does that shit on purpose, bro. That's not right. That's not right. You know he set that widescreen shit on purpose. Phil be throwing them jabs, bro. That's not right.
This? Okay.
DJ says, remember when he said he was walking by his wife and smelled fish? It's fucking disrespectful.
Better now?
Fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, a little better. Still choppy. The funny thing, it might just be my preview because when I was in the actual camera window, it looked better.
That's
anyway,
fucked up, man.
Yeah, I need to know what it is that you like the most, all right? And I want to know. I want to know what I need to do. I know, here's the thing. I'm going to get a million suggestions, okay? I know I am, and that's okay. I need to weigh and balance your input now and try to figure out what's...
Yes, Phil, this is what you always do. When you get a rut, you sit there and act like you need help with something, so you go ahead and tell people to request help. So all you can do is just go through all the suggestions so you can go ahead and talk about it. This is what it is. You have nothing to offer. That's your problem. You have nothing to offer the content creation space. All you do is create an entire kabuki theater operation of acting like a successful YouTuber and failing at it.
Best thing to do for the future, all right? And if that means that this year somehow I dramatically change and shift if we need to, we could do that.
Yeah, that's what it is, Damien. It's just he's just saying this just so people can talk.
Let's see what everyone...
He's saying this so people can talk, people can engage, so that way he can go ahead and have fodder for his next pre-stream podcast and, continue the cycle. That's it.
Everyone's feedback is, I'm literally getting a ton of suggestions right now. No, don't stray too far from the fundamentals. Well, I like it when you're chilling and having fun playing a game because it's apparent when you're having fun. When you're raging, it's not fun. I turn the stream off. I prefer watching fighting game streams. We get to interact with you and help you out with combos, punishes, and other things. See, everyone has a different opinion. See? I've been telling you guys this for years. I'm a variety streamer, and because of that, there's a variety of people who check me out for various different reasons. There isn't, like, one thing people tune in the darksydephil for. There's not. Other content creators, there are a lot of one-trick ponies out there, where it's their shtick every day, the same fucking thing, every day, all day.
And this is yours!
And hey, whatever floats your boat and whatever works for them, that's not me. I've always been a guy who's kind of, jack of all trades, master of none.
No, but the thing is, each and every trade is the same trade. It's the same thing. It's a prefabricated stunt that people can see through. All for the purpose of begging for money. That's your trick.
But that's why people are always kind of hanging out, because they never know what you're going to see, and people like different things. Some people might tune into this podcast and not give a crap about the gameplay. Some people might only turn on the stream when the podcast is over because they want to watch the gameplay, So anyway, today I really need your feedback because after Pal World,
again, like how many times we could actually look up. Hold on, I got this. I forgot I'm using something completely different. Hold on. I need your feedback. That's what we're going to look for right now. Pig, go. I hate this shit.
What's happened in the last couple of weeks on the streams, seeing what's going on sadly with my lost revenue because of trolls, and also seeing the fact that I'm getting feedback like, hey, times are a-changing. Do you not notice more people are hanging out for the podcast, and a lot of
It's in the
people support
thousands,
the podcast,
goddammit.
and when you
The
start to
thousands.
dries up. I'm like, damn. I guess I see your point. So let's talk about that further. This is not me saying I'm immediately making any knee-jerk reaction changes. I just want to know what it actually is that you want, right? I don't think we need a longer podcast or anything like that. What I think is, if you want more talk, we can have more talk, but then we have to create shows and things that make sense. It can't just be the level 1 podcast all day, every day. That's not going to work. The podcast is already long enough, right? It is. What we need to do is, what are other things you'd like to see? If you really want talk or discussion more, then we should figure this out. Like, how do you do it better in a situation where, like, what shows do you want to see? Right? I don't know. This is what I mean. I would love your feedback on this.
This is what I'm saying. He's just going to, and then we're going to sit there. We're going to sit there and just watch the guy. So again, right now, we're watching this as a viewer, a new viewer, right? Right now, this is the content that you're giving people. And then you wonder why shit isn't working out. So look.
I don't know. It makes me worry.
Dead air. Nothing but dead air.
Here's why I'm worried. Because I love certain games. Like, for example, I really like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I knew I was going to. But that's not for my whole audience. That's for a small group of my audience, and I know that. But then, are you telling me that if for me to be successful in the future, I just have to ignore the games I like? Oh, just don't play the games you like anymore because, you don't get a big audience for them. Well, that's fucked up, no? Like, the whole point of me being a YouTuber was to show my passion for games with an audience, and when that resonated through, the success came later. Not, oh, you're just playing games that are big or that people, people are asking for just to make a paycheck. I don't want to do that. You understand? Like, that's not what I'm about. The day that this just becomes doing things to make money, I might as well be just as bad as all the others out there, right?
You're worse. You're literally worse.
Fucking sell the fuck out, become a shill, become a fake, become a toxic person who just insults and bullies people all day.
What you do.
I don't want to do that. I want to be true to me, and I want to...
That's who you are. That's the true you.
That commitment that I've always had with you, that I was going to be transparent, honest...
Which you're not.
A different kind of guy than all the people on the internet who are fakes.
You're worse.
I'm not a fake.
You're worse.
I never have been. I've always been.
You've always been fake. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what makes you worse. You've been consistently been fake. My issue with you, Phil, like my supreme issue with you, is that everything you do, every action you take, has an ulterior motive. Every single fucking one. Without fail.
Why do you think I never accepted the big sponsorships? I never got in with the in crowd of gaming because I was never a fake. I was always honest, and those companies don't like that shit. They don't want people talking the truth about their stuff. They want people kissing ass. I've never been a kiss ass in my entire life.
But that's why that's why when Street Fighter, when you hype up a game that comes out, you're sucking its dick, right?
So let's talk about this. All right? This is the first of the discussions today, and we got to move on.
What do you mean first of the discussions? This is the millionth of the discussions. You've had this discussion multiple times, DSP.
On from this topic now because I have to do the schedule and shout-outs.
Again, he has to do the same thing he does every single fucking day.
But this is something that I think we need to talk about more and more and figure this out. Because I don't want what happened over 10 years ago to happen again. I don't want to become Mr. Dinosaur, the guy who's no one...
Dude, you're not even a dinosaur. You're literally extinct. You're a fossil. You're a fossil at this point. You're literally... You've already been processed and refined, and you're burning up in somebody's fucking car right now.
No one cares about because he's an idiot who didn't listen to feedback.
That's where we are now.
If the writing is on the wall that me just sitting around playing games all day doesn't work anymore, I want to change for the better. I tried last year with the React stuff, and the feedback I got was, no, don't do that. Go back to the gaming. So I did. But here we are only in February of 2024, and half the time that I'm playing games, people are telling me that it's not that interesting. Well, that's not good. Even the games I'm interested in, like Tekken, people are like, like, well, that's not good. I want to know what you want me to do then.
Die.
I need feedback on this, you know? Okay. Anyway, now that the seed has been planted, all right?
Yep. Again, this dude doesn't, like, he gives himself away when he talks. Again, this is the kabuki theater. This is the narrative spinning. This is the vortex spinning. This is him setting up the dominoes. This is it. This is the ulterior motive. And again, he gives himself away. He plants the seeds in his audience's head. So that way they can go along with the idea. What's up, Mortem? How we doing, baby?
Let's start this discussion seriously. In fact, I would love to see, because I'm sure people now are going to leave feedback on this video and overnight. I want the good feedback from people. And if your feedback is, oh, just change everything you are. Completely change all of your content to be just like everyone else on YouTube. Be a shill character who's...
But that's what you're doing now. That's why you're doing the react. You're the only reason you're doing the react is because everyone else is doing it. Why don't you do something else with this content? Why are you doing the same thing that Pokimane, Kai Sinan, I Show Speed, Tim the Tatman, Jay Slat, why are you doing what they're doing? If that's the case. Come on, bro.
The fake. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and no, I'm not doing that. I'd rather go out of business. So if it means I go out...
You're going out of business, Phil. Again, that you're not getting it. You're going out of business. Your business has died a long time ago.
Out of business, I guess I go out of business. I'm going to be true to myself, but find a way to make content that people are going to want more. All right? So let's figure that out. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's do schedule for the week, and then let's do shout-outs, and that's probably going to be the show, because already it's past noon, okay?
Look at that. So we can still got 30 minutes.
Tonight's late stream, kind of... Okay. So there you have it. It's time for shout-outs, guys. We're running out of time here, so let's get to shout-outs, shall we? It's me did a super chat and says, your podcast helps me to fall asleep, thanks. Now, I don't know if that's intended to be sarcastic or not. You do realize that there are people who listen to podcasts just like this every single day as background noise. They absolutely do. There's people who subscribe to a playlist or whatever, and they just hit play, and they let it just play out as background noise. And that's fine. If that's what you enjoy doing, I'm glad that you get that out of the show.
Cope.
Or if you're insulting me, well, then you can kiss my ass. I don't know what you're talking about. So, Veteran Court Cam is a troll who insulted me and says my content is boring. Well, then why are you here? If you find the content on the channel boring, perhaps you shouldn't be here doing a super chat. I mean, you're literally a moron.
But again, Phil, you don't seem to realize, right, that people haven't been showing up to your streams as much as they used to. So he might have a point. There are some people who actually took that advice, and that's why you don't have the audience that you used to have.
And then we have 672, who did a super chat and says, I've been saying it for years, Fan Night Fridays. I don't know what that means. What is Fan Night Friday? He's
told you multiple times. He's, like I said, Fan Night Fridays where you play games with your fans. He's done this multiple times with you, DSP. Again, you've had this discussion multiple times. It's getting boring now.
I don't know. Because there's various ways you can take that. Oh, well, on Fridays, you do co-op gameplay or something with viewers. And I understand that, but you could do that in a game like Street Fighter 6, where we did lobbies of that or whatever. And it worked for a while, but then it got kind of boring. We did it for a few times, and it was like, nah. And then I played less Street Fighter 6, and it made more sense to focus just on the few times I played it a week, getting better at it, and getting to master level, rather than kind of messing around casually with the viewers. But if you're saying, like, oh, do a night where all the members get to do something. Can't do anything member-related ever again. Seriously. Because of the way that they destroy these memberships on YouTube, they're basically not... They're basically not viable anymore for that kind of stuff. It would have to be a higher level of special membership. And I can tell you right now, if people are already getting a standard level membership for free every month, they're not going to pay a few dollars more to do something else for a Fan Night Friday or something like that.
I mean, they probably might. Like, if you fucking try.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't even know what you mean. If you can elaborate on that, I would like to hear.
Why would he have to elaborate if he's already told you about it multiple times? He's repeated it multiple times every time you've done a stunt like this. The stunt being acting like you don't know what to do with your content, so you beg for your audience to give you feedback. You've done this for years, DSP. Years.
More about that, okay? All right, so tips side of things today. I got a $1 tip from someone saying, everyone's playing the Tomb Raider Master Collection today, including me, but you're skipping it. Can you care to give a reason why? Sure, it's the same reason I skipped Helldivers 2, and the same reason that I skipped Suicide Squad, and the same reason that I skipped Persona 3, and the same reason that I skipped Grand Blue Fantasy, and the same reason that I probably skipped 5 other games. Games are too long today.
Okay, but that's what your audience wants, you fucking dumbass. That's what they want. Again, this is what I mean. Like, again, you're literally giving the feedback and you're telling people why you can't do it. But then you're sitting there wondering why your business is failing. Phil, this is why you will never be successful. Never, never, never. I wish Mike Klum could just, whatever the fuck his name is, could see this. This is why the documentary will never get made. The man doesn't want to fucking actually do anything. He just wants to spend time circling the narrative, propelling the vortex. Bro, do this. Okay, boom, do it. Get the money. Easy. No, guys, what do I do? Oh, that thing you want me to do? I can't do it. Let me tell you why. Okay, now that I'm done telling you why I can't do the thing, continue to give me things to do. Oh, another thing? Okay, let me tell you why I can't do that. Come on, guys. I need you to help me with it. Like, dude, it's annoying.
And so because of that, I can only play a certain amount of them. I can't be playing Tekken and Like a Dragon and Baldur's Gate 3 and doing React content while also playing the Tomb Raider collection.
Okay, but you could go ahead and play Baldur's Gate 3 for 3 days straight, right? You could play these games. You could play Yakuza game for like a month straight, right? Dude, again, you're at the mercy of your audience. Just fucking play the games that they want you to play. What's up, Wilson? How we doing, baby?
It just doesn't work. There's only one of me. There's only a certain amount of streaming time, so I have to pick and choose what I play.
Okay, and you chose to play Baldur's Gate 3 for 3 days straight. 4 days straight, my bad.
Alright? There was no overwhelming call for me to play the Tomb Raider collection. In fact, again, what people seem to be misunderstanding about it is that it's not a remake. It's just they upgraded the graphics, and that's it. The game's going to play very archaic, like the originals actually did. I don't think it's gonna. That collection is good for posterity. For those who've never played the originals and have no access to them, great. Here you go. But outside of that,
again, he's getting direct feedback on something that could save his channel, and he doesn't want to do it.
Those games are not super fun to play or anything. Like I remember playing Tomb Raider 1. I owned it, and I thought it was good until you get to like the middle of the game, and it's really tedious and annoying. The platforming is not good. It's really, and the combat gets very boring halfway through the game because it's more of the same. Just find better weapons or whatever. But it's just not that good. And the thing is, there's too many games out in a short period of time to play all of them. And this is what we're talking about, right? Seems like no matter what I do or what I play, you know, everyone tunes in for the first stream or two and then they're bored, right? No one's gonna stick around to see me play the Tomb Raider trilogy. Sorry, I just know it. It's not.
Oh, you don't know it because people are telling you to play the fucking game and you're not playing it.
It's not gonna retain any kind of interest. So that's why I'm not too interested in it. Okay, you know, gotta get further in the games I'm playing. Like I said, I want to get into Act 3 of Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna get the co-op going and get that advancing in Like a Dragon. Soon Final Fantasy VII's right around the corner. That's the game everyone wants to see right now coming up. Like, that's the only game. You're seeing so much hype on social media for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and everything else is kind of like an afterthought. Like, that's the next big event in gaming is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? Okay. Alright, so thank you for the tip, and I hope that the answer made sense. I received a $2.85 tip from an anonymous tipper. Thank you to $2.85 tipper, whoever you are. I appreciate that. There we go. I received a $2 tip. From Kirk. He says, to be blunt, all of your ideas so far are like switching jet chairs around to the Titanic. If you want to be popular, it's DS politics. There you go. They want DS politics. You want it. You want the politics. You're asking for the politics.
I wouldn't even...
Me in a big Uncle Sam hat pointing, I want you to watch DS politics.
Guarantee he already has the fucking... I guarantee he already has the fucking graphics. I guarantee it. Quote Shinko Fleur today. Valentine's Day 2024. He already has that graphic. Guaranteed. Quote me on it.
Right? This is what people want. Oh my god. Anyway. No, it's funny because, no exaggeration, a political channel, there's so much, just this morning, there's a giant news story about politics that in the United States, and this is, I'm not going to give my opinion on it, I'm just going to give you an example. The Senate just passed a bill, all right, and this bill in the United States, they're calling it like, I think they're calling it like the Homeland Security bill. The bill literally funds nothing about Homeland Security. It's about giving money for foreign wars. So we as taxpayers in the United States pay our taxes to have our country run by the government, and the government just wants to take those taxes and mail them overseas to other people instead of actually fixing things in the country with money.
Yes, oh my god. It's like we didn't know that.
This is what the bill is.
Oh yeah, that's the bill. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they named it wrong so that people wouldn't know what it is. So you think, oh, they voted for a Homeland Security bill? Oh, that sounds good. And in reality, you read the bill, it has nothing to do with that.
Yes, that's never happened ever before, ever. Jesus Christ. Hold on 1 minute. Give me a minute, guys. I got a call. Hold on, let me let this play.
Okay? So this is what happened in politics this morning, right? Now, that's not me giving my opinion on it. That's the story. That's the mainline news everywhere right now. Okay? So, just imagine. I turn on DS Politics today. Well, guess what, guys? We got a hot topic. Let's explore this bill in depth. Let's talk about what it really does, and let's talk about the politicians on both sides and what they're saying about it and how they're spinning it. And then let's go ahead and talk about what we think. This could be a whole day.
This is what he wants to do. This is what he wants to do. Again, he wants to sit there and have these lukewarm takes and sit back and get money for it.
A whole day of content for me. I don't have to do any work. There's a news story up. Here's my content for the day. You know what I mean? Do you understand this is how many people do this on YouTube? It's insane.
You literally try to do this yourself. You do it with gaming news.
There's a ridiculous amount of people, not just on YouTube, but everywhere. They're on fucking Facebook. They're on, what's the site? Rumble. Rumble's huge for politics. Like, this is all they do. And they just sit there talking this shit all day. And they get giant views and popularity.
Yeah, and you're looking at it, and you're seeing that they don't have to play any video games. They can just sit there and talk. It's enticing you, Phil.
It's ridiculous, right? So, anyway, I want to continue, but my nose is itching, and I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second here.
See, he was getting too excited. He had to go because he was getting too excited. He was getting too excited. Your man was ready. Yo, your man was getting excited with the TT. Excited. Man, bro. Yo, that. Oh, shit.
Phew. Okay.
Come on, sit back down. He fucking blew a load right there.
Crisis averted. Alright, so anyway, Kirk. Opinion received and weighed, and thank you for your feedback. Let's continue. I received a $5 tip. Let's see here. Oh my god, this is way too long.
Let's see what we got here. Come on. Sorry, I was making a beat. Is somebody showering?
So basically this person is saying a lot of people don't want to hear the same topics like the daily schedule.
Yeah, they don't. Damn.
Let's continue.
Hold on.
I received a $5 tip. Let's see here.
Hold
oh my
on.
god, this is way too long.
Yeah, somebody's showering. Yeah, nah, fuck that.
So basically this person is saying
Cat's taking a shower. She's showering up. All them years in sprinkler work, I can hear fucking water falling from like fucking miles. Somebody's taking a shower.
a lot of people don't want to hear the same topics like the daily schedule, talking about YouTube monetization, hearing about things going wrong. They tune into a stream.
I'm sorry, yo, y'all have no idea. Like when it, like that's the thing in like working like with like fire sprinklers, is that like you don't want shit to leak. So like, bro, like I have PTSD every time I hear water leaking from somewhere. Like if I hear like a small stream just anywhere, bro, I'm like a fucking bloodhound. So my bad. I heard the shower at the condo. So sorry about that.
To unplug from the reality and the stresses of life because they just want to relax and have fun.
That's my tism.
I totally get that. In fact, I rarely even talk about that stuff. Seriously, like usually the podcast is the place where I would talk about that stuff. Oddly enough, the podcast is where I'm getting the most views, the most engagement, and the most support. So I understand what you're saying, correct? I do. Like I totally get it. And I tend to agree with you that I need to do less of that. But at the very same time, okay, that seems to be what a lot of people are tuning in for and supporting. So I think what it is I have different audiences. You know what I'm saying? I just do. I have people who tune in who just want to hang out for gameplay. But then I have people who tune in and they actually want to have that level of discussion. And I have people who tune in for various reasons, right? So in your case, you may be someone who just wants to see me play a game. So you know what my recommendation is for that? And this is me being honest, and I hope you'll take it to heart. This is not me slamming anyone. Tune in at 12:45 p.m. Pacific time every day. Because by the time I'm starting with the game, I'm done with all these discussions. They're done. You don't have to be here for the podcast. Skip it. Come for the gameplay, which starts around 12:45 p.m. every day. Late streams, I don't really do this podcast segment. I do like maybe 10 minutes of hanging out with the audience, and then we get into the game. And the game usually starts around 7:15 p.m. Pacific time. So tune in at 12:45 p.m. or 7:15 p.m. Pacific time and just enjoy the gameplay portions of the streams. Rarely will you hear me bringing up these topics that you have issue with. But the problem is, if you're listening to the wrong people, like my detractors...
Nobody's listening. Again, we're watching it directly from the fucking source.
You get complete misinformation.
What information if the fucking information is coming straight from the source? It's literally relaying the same shit that you're saying on your channel over to theirs. That's it.
They'll say, all I do is bring it up all day. I don't. I purposely separate it out so that way you don't have to be bombarded with those topics when I'm playing the game. When I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 today, do you think I'm going to be talking about this stuff? No.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. So that's the point. That's why I actually started this podcast. Before it was even called a podcast, I called it the pre-stream. Because I wanted to get these topics out of the way. So once we start playing the game, we can focus on the game. Other content creators turn the stream on within 5 minutes they're playing the game. And what are they talking about? 20 loads of bullshit.
While they're playing the game. And they're interacting with their audience. And they're having a fun time.
Right? Good luck trying to watch that playthrough back later. Because the first hour of their content is them shooting this shit small talk with their fucking audience. And has nothing to do with the game. So how does that make sense? In reality, it doesn't, but it's just become a commonplace thing that everyone else does, so I guess that's how you're supposed to do it, right? I do it way more professional and organized.
And you have a failing business! You do it more professional and more organized, but you're supported by literally 2 people!
But I guess I do it wrong?
Yes! Yes! That's the point! That's the whole point! That's the reason why the main portion of this podcast is you having to do different things, for you asking your audience to tell you what to do because what you're currently doing is not working.
Don't tune into the podcast if you're not interested in those topics, you know? I feel like I already solved this problem ages ago.
No, you didn't. That's why right now you're asking for feedback about your content. You shouldn't have to.
But maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm just giving you my take on it because that's, you know, I feel like that wasn't an issue. For those who want to avoid this kind of discussion and topic, don't tune into the podcast. Just jump into the gameplay where I'm basically avoiding talking about those topics.
And they don't know when to do that because when they come into the gameplay portion, you're still fucking around, still talking about this shit.
Over and over, right? Continuing on, I got a $1 tip from Kirk. You would rather Putin take over Europe than total global domination. You are a psycho. We support Ukraine. Okay, this is I think you jumped the gun, Kirk. This is not DS politics. What you're saying,
I'm telling you, he's doing it.
It's not something I'm going to discuss on the channel. I hate to tell you, you jumped the gun. Okay, thanks for the $1 tip there, Kirk. I received a generous $20 tip from Swagonito. Okay.
Swaglicious. Yeah, Wilson, it is.
Year, it's definitely a window to start up DS politics. I'd legit watch it and hear your opinions. Make it happen. DSP Otis. Oh, DS POTUS. Get it? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Look, he's red. He's fucking red.
The whole thing is, you have to understand that if I do political content, it's going to be the funniest political content you're ever going to see.
No, it's
because
not.
I am not extreme either way, and that's the way to make money. To be totally right or totally left and say everyone else is a villain is how you make money doing it. Because you can immediately ridicule and villainize.
No, how about you give an honest take about politics? Hey, I give my honest take about politics all the time. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and everyone who fights against everyone who's fighting against each other are all stupid because they're all puppets. That's it. Easy. Done. Political opinion completed. That's it. That's it. The world is ran by legit 4 fucking companies. They run everything. Literally everything. How we do shit. So all this, it's kabuki theater. Done. Boom. Easy.
Everyone on the other side.
Shinko politics, done. That's it. Yeah, I gave it to you all in one shot.
And discredit everything they say, and you have this kind of gang mentality where everyone has to be on your side if they're left or right. So you always have this endless audience. I'm not either side. I literally look at both sides and I fucking facepalm and laugh at how bad both sides are. Because being polarized in politics is like being a fucking idiot. It's like thinking the world is black and white, that there's superheroes and supervillains everywhere. There's none. That's not how life works. It's so different than that, but people want to simplify everything in life. It's so silly the way these people act. So anyway.
See, and the problem I have with retards like you is that you guys kind of mull over that observation, but then you guys literally do the same NPC shit as these, people that you're making fun of. That's the problem I have. That's the problem I have with you down the middle fence riding ass motherfuckers, is because at least these other NPCs on the left and right, they stand for something at least. You're just sitting there waddling around, playing it safe. That's it. It's done.
Anyway, yeah, it's really stupid. And, in that regard, I don't know. Like I said.
That's it. We're just gonna get, all we're gonna get from DSP politics is common sense takes. That's it. Common sense takes that either it's the natural thing to say or everyone else has said it already.
We're gonna talk about it.
Now let him. Francisco says. So Francisco Ramos Mejia says this is a shortcut to destroying his remaining audience. Let him. I like it. I like it. I like it.
I'm sure we're going to discuss more. I definitely want a lot of feedback. Please, everyone, give me your feedback in regards to all of these topics. I would love to hear your thoughts. Some people seem like they want me getting into politics sooner rather than later because it's election year and now's the year to do it. I mean, if we do that, here's the thing. If we do that, it's not going to be here. It ain't going to be on the Throwback channel, and it ain't going to be on DSP Reacts. I've got to do something new. That has to be its own entity.
I'm telling you, we're getting a fourth, quote Shinko on this, we're getting a fourth DSP politics channel.
Out there somewhere where it's separate from all my other shit, so that way no one can be, oh my God, you see, it has to be different.
It's gonna be the same thing because that's your brand, you fucking dumbass. That's the thing that you don't seem to understand. So your stupid, simple Simon, slow ass, really is gonna go ahead, open up a politics channel, go say all this fucking wild, stupid shit, and think you're gonna come back to DSP Gaming all unscathed. Please. It's over. It's probably Sizzy Mac. Just look up one of the old darksydephil channels. It's probably one of the old darksydephil channels. I probably could find the shit right now by the time tomorrow comes up for tomorrow's stream.
I can't have political discourse inundating my other content,
It's gonna inundate your content because it's gonna be part of your brand, stupid.
But I guess we're gonna have to talk about it. Okay? I received a $25 tip from 1 Minute Man. This could be the toughest dungeon so far in the game.
Yeah, no, sir. All right, guys. So I'm gonna cut it short because I gotta get cracking on this Mac Mini, see what I can do to at least get it up and running, or try to get the data off the hard drive. All right. So, guys, thank you for being patient with me today. Tomorrow we're gonna try to have another stream. Hopefully, we'll see what we can talk about, and we can, if I can, we'll try to react to like the shit that Cat's doing. Okay. So thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for being patient with me with my computer fucking up. Hopefully we'll have a better stream tomorrow, okay? So thank you guys. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Catch you later. Bye-bye.